That time. That time. Don't stop, get it, get it. Oh snap! That's the most. Wait, you frozen? Wait, no,
No,
you're
I'm
not.
not frozen.
Your earring is moving.
I look frozen though, right? You was
Yeah.
job.
Okay.
Yes, we back in here. We back in here for
I'm
the
sweating, guys.
Loud
This light.
Q&A.
Oh, I should type that, huh? Do I have to like give people permission to put the question?
Actually, I'm not even 100% how that works, but we got 2 questions submitted so far that we gonna start with.
Yeah, let me just put this thingy up here. Cause I saw somebody. Wait, hold on. Oh. I don't know how to. Oh, all right.
You got it, girl. You got it.
There it is. All right.
I believe in you.
Okay, so we are going to start with our question. Oh, sorry. This is our Q&A section with LoveLoudd.
He will always do a 30-minute segment after recording Truth Carpet episodes. We're going to be doing our LoveLoudd Q&A.
Yes. So if you have any questions, on the bottom of your screen, you'll see the question box, and you can put questions in there. We're going to start off with some questions that we got in our DMs. So, question number 1. How soon is too soon to say you love someone? You want me to go first?
You can go ahead. You can go
ahead. I don't think that things like that have a time frame, but I would say that, wait, what does it say? How soon is too soon? Too soon is saying it before you actually mean it. So saying I love you to someone just because you feel like, oh, 4 months went by, or they did this and that for me, or they introduced me to their family, I should say it. Or your friends, I remember in college, I felt pressure because my friends were like, oh, dang, he ain't said he love you yet. Like, that kind of put a lot of pressure on me. But if you don't mean it sincerely from the bottom of your heart that you actually love this person, then don't say it. If on day 1 you feel like, oh, I love you, then say it. There's no actual amount of time, literally, that will say yay or nay.
Right. I 100% agree. Like, say it and mean it, because I've definitely had a guy in my past, legit, he kept saying, I love you. I love you. And I kept saying, like, I'm not ready to say that back to you yet, but I appreciate you expressing that to me. And he kept saying, I love you. I love you. You won't tell me that you love me back. I love you. And I wouldn't say I felt pressure to say it back, but at a certain point, I did. I let him know, like, you know what? I love you too. And I honestly did. I just didn't want to say it because I felt like I was saying it too soon because his actions didn't meet his words, if that makes sense.
Wait, you mean like you didn't feel like he loved you?
I didn't, but I'm like, but then there was another part of me that was like, but if this is what he's saying, then some part of it has to be true. So why shouldn't I express how I truly feel? And then somewhere down the line, it just it fell apart, and it was just kind of like, no, see. And then he never fully committed at all either. But I can definitely agree, like, you shouldn't say it unless you truly mean it. Like, it could be a month that goes by, you like, you know what, you've been there for me, like, I love you for that. Because there's definitely a big difference for loving someone and being in love with someone.
My next question. Yeah, I wanted to ask you if there was a difference of loving someone and being in love, and what is that?
I honestly feel like, for me, being in love with someone, like, it's hard for me to explain, but it's a certain emotion and feeling surrounded by I'm willing to give my everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for you in all for you, and like I don't understand why it's so hard for me to explain, but I know for a fact like when I'm in love with I've only truly been in love once.
Okay.
I can honestly say that I've only ever truly been in love one time. Um, but I have loved more than once.
Okay.
Um, as far as like relationships or dating relationships or stuff like that. I've only ever truly been in love one time. Um, and I'm literally trying to figure out the best way to describe the difference in how I felt from love and being in love. And I literally can't find the right words to
Define.
express how to truly, yeah, I can't define it, at least not right. I can't define it. Maybe if I had some time to sit on it, but right now I can't find the words to describe what being in love really truly felt for me.
Yeah. I agree with I think that's Brittany saying that there's a big difference between loving somebody and being in love with somebody.
Hmm.
For me, loving okay, I've never been in love before. But I have loved people before. So, loving someone basically is like a stronger sense of caring for them. Like if I'm at work and that person calls and say, "Hey, um, they really need me there," then I'll call out or leave or something. I don't know. That's a whack example, but like I'll drop anything to run to you and help you with something. Like if you fall down, like when a baby falls and you kind of feel it, like ugh, like you can feel in your stomach when a baby
Right.
falls down. Like I feel that like when you hurt, I hurt kind of thing. But I wish I knew that this question was going to come up because I would have had it in front of me. But basically, being in love, all I can think of is the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not
Mm-hmm.
envious, love like does all these things. That's what I would say being in love with somebody. If you can hit all these targets, somebody did the perfect thing with those Bible verses, which was
Mm-hmm.
they said that their grandmother said, if you can take the word, replace that person's name with the word love, then you'll, and if they are doing those things, then you are in love with them, or that person is for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's Simone, Simone is patient, Simone is kind, Simone does not envy, Simone, all these things of whatever the Bible is quoting, then yes, Simone loves me, Simone is in love with me. And I always say too that if I love Simone, Simone does not love me, for me, I can't say we are in love. For both of us, to me, both of us have to love one another, and both of us have to be able to fit our names in that Bible verse. Sorry, those Bible verses, in order to say, okay, we're in love with one another. Do you
Mm-hmm.
girls believe the saying that you fall in love 3 times? I forget the details, but I've heard that a lot before. Oh,
Oh, I know what they're talking about. So
okay.
it's like your first love is like your initial love, like that puppy love. I can remember like the full blown definition, and then like it's the second love that puts you like through the most pain, and then it's like your third love is the one you never saw coming. Something of that nature. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's something like that. So it's like first love, like that puppy love, initial love, the one you think is never gonna go. And then it's the second love is like the most pain that you've been through. And then the last one for sure is like the love you don't see coming. I've definitely seen that before, and I feel like as far as me being in love, I feel like the first person I was ever in love with falls into the category of the first one and the second one, as
Okay.
far as like my first love, second love. So after reading the definitions of them, we'd have to pull them up later, like to read them in full. Um, but as far as my first time being in love, I feel like it hits the mark for one and two. And the person that has yet to sweep me off my feet and take me by surprise has yet to come into my life. So as far as that, I believe it to a certain extent based off what I've been through. And I feel like one person can hit the mark for one and two. Do you know? Do you know it?
No, I don't know it, but what you're saying
Uh,
makes it makes sense to me for not knowing it. But when I read that, it made me think of the devotion that I read last night,
mm-hmm.
which was saying that basically when Adam went to Eve, sorry I'm speaking biblically, y'all, but when Adam went to Eve, he didn't say where's my wife or where's this specific person. He just said I can't find um I can't find anything like me or anything suitable for me. So God, that's when God created it for him. But also in
Mm-hmm.
that, he said, that devotion said that basically it made me summarize. There's not one fit soul for a specific person. Cause I used to think, dang, what if my boyfriend in Japan? What if he in Africa? What if he in North Carolina? But God basically puts a woman in front of a man, and then he says, yeah or nay, that being his wife. So that devotion that I read last night did help me to think, okay, there's not just one fit person for a specific person. You can have different loves in your life, and then the man decides whether he wants to marry that person or not. Hold on. So I see somebody saying, yes, Daisy in the Sunlight. This person said, Daisy in the Sunlight says, I feel like being in love feels like you want to know what it's like to be that person. Like you want to love them inside and out, and it's a euphoric feeling. I agree to that. So.
Euphoric. I can definitely agree with euphoric. It's a different kind of high,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like when they talk about like floating, heart fluttering, like feeling like your feet are off the ground, like that's like being in love. Like it's ugh. I miss the feeling, but
It'll come. It'll come.
I'm sure it'll come again. Like, and I'm impatient in regards to waiting for it because I know for a fact that, oh, my husband gonna get that work. My husband about to get the whole freaking world. Yeah.
That's another good topic.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah. All right. You ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Do you think there's an appropriate time to move in with someone, or do you think people should wait until they're engaged?
I think this is my personal opinion. It truly depends on the relationship. Like I can't say for other people whether or not you should move in, but for me, I'm probably going to stay in my own place until we decide, like until we officially get married. Like I probably won't move in until I get married.
Okay.
Not just because I enjoy my space, but I feel like during I don't know, like during the dating phase, like that's still happening while you're engaged. You're not officially one as of yet. So
Right.
he'll still have his place, I'll have my place, he can come over, I'll go over, and we can do that back and forth for a while until we solidify that as official. Because I see no reason to split anything down the middle or allow him to pay anything in full. Well, it just doesn't feel right. It just for me, it just doesn't feel right in regards to um what the relationship is. So until I am married,
Mm-hmm.
I will have my place and he will have his place. I pay my rent, he pay his rent, and then once we are married, we can decide how we gonna dividend those funds. But I feel like I'm gonna keep it separate.
Okay. For me, this is another one of those things where I can sit here today, May 15th, and say what I'm saying. But if you see me and Bay in and out the same apartment or house, just know that times have changed. Okay. So my answer to this today is that I would love to wait until I am married to share, to cohabitate with the love of my life. I would like to, after our wedding, be carried over the threshold and finally share a space. And some people say, "Oh, but you gotta know if he how he brush his teeth, if he clean up, if he do this." Because yeah, basically you're playing sleepover. But then when you decide to get married or whatever, that's when your life starts again. you're on a different stage, and then you got to work those things, those kinks out together. Um, but yeah, like nothing is ours officially until we get married, and those papers say
Right.
it's ours. But at the same time, I live in Jersey, and things are like really expensive. Like living here is expensive. People are literally living rent to rent, and I feel like it doesn't even matter what your salary is. It's kind of like difficult to be able to survive. A lot of people that I know, if they're not living with their husband, they're living with their family, they're living with a roommate, some kind of thing like that. Like there's not many people that I know who are living on their own, and the maybe two people that I do know who living on their own, they have some kind of support from their family or some loan or something that they're paying their rent off. So it's really difficult to live here by themselves. So me living in Jersey, I'm like, bro, the only roommate that I could really have is Simone. So if I do
That
find
part.
right, so if I do have a partner, and then it gets to a point where I feel like it's serious, I can. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't say nothing to me if something changed within from now to when I get a boo thing, because I might have to have that talk with him and say, hey, we both trying to save our money. What you think about splitting the cost and sharing or living together or whatever kind of thing. I don't know what could happen, but I would like to think that um, me and him will date, we'll get engaged, and then we'll move in together after we get married.
Right. I mean, like you said, you just never know. Like
Yeah,
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying this now, but it might get to a point where like we've been dating for a certain period of time. Like, you know what? Let's go ahead and move in together. But
yeah,
I also feel like there'll still be like that remaining part of me that's kind of like,
yeah,
girl, keep your place just in case.
yeah. Security part, like Carrie from Sex and the City. Like you still want your own privacy, your own
Like just in
spot.
case I want to get away. How much space we talking about?
You need your she shed.
My she shit, right.
Yeah. I also I think it can get scary too, moving with somebody quote unquote too soon. That's what the question was about, too soon. Because it's just, while you were speaking, it's just making me think, why buy the cow when you can get the whole milk, when you can get the milk for free?
Why buy the
And
milk when you can get the cow for free? Or is it
no, why buy
buy?
the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Oh, got you. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so like a lot of people use that term as far as sex and intimacy that way. But while you're speaking, it's making me think of all these things, like in general, sharing a house together, having kids together, um, having sex, like all these things that quote unquote comes with marriage, but we're not married. You already got it. So a, a woman typically is the person who's thinking like, when is he going to propose? When is he going to propose? But then he might be thinking like, I ain't ready yet. Like there's no quote unquote, um, there's no, I don't want to say pressure, but like there's nothing that he needs more, quote unquote, except that legal right, and that's saying that's my wife. If he already has
Right.
everything else, what else is there to work for? We live together. I see you every day. We chilling. We going on dates. All this stuff. Like, what else do I need to do?
Right.
If you guys have any questions, you can put questions in the bottom. I want to read a comment. It says, I think they should move in before so they will know if marriage is the right choice. People are different at home, and you don't know someone until you love them. Sorry, until you love with them. Oh, I think it's supposed to say until you live with them. I want to see if it works.
That's
Um,
what the overnight bag is for. That's why you get a drawer at his place and he get a drawer at your place.
yeah,
Your overnight bag. Shoot, I honestly feel like you can get to know somebody by staying with them for certain amounts of time. I don't feel like I need to live with them to know how they live, if that makes
right,
sense.
right.
Um,
I think it's gonna be
if
like
I'm spending the weekends at your place, I have a good idea for a long
so.
amount of time.
I agree with the person. I agree with Daisy in the Sunlight that a facade can be put up. It doesn't matter how long it is. Well, if it's like 2 weeks or a month, then yeah, like okay, my behavior is starting to trickle down. But like they can, oh, Simone about to come over. Let me clean up. Let me make this neat. Let me wipe out the toothpaste that I spat there and then leave. Let me clean up my dishes. Let me throw them in the dishwasher because I know Simone gonna be here this weekend. But then when you move in, you see their patterns that they weren't putting up when you were just spending the night. It's all different. But then at the same time, Did you marry them because they were neat freaks? Did you marry them because they wash the dishes? Did you marry them because they didn't leave their drawers hanging on the they didn't leave their drawers hanging on the door? That's not why you married them. You married them because of what's in it. Well, I hope you married them because of what's in their heart and that they make you feel complete and all those things. So it's an adjustment, whether or not, like, we're all throughout life, we're adjusting to something within that person. So moving in with that other person, your significant other, your husband, your wife, is just another adjustment to that thing. So again, if it's not for other than financial reason, or we're engaged and we can't, we want to just move it faster because we got a good deal on this house, then sure, let's move in a little bit sooner. But other than that, I would like to wait until after we're married.
Amen.
There's always going to be something you don't like, even when you're married and living with them. Exactly. Even when you're married and living with the person, there's always going to be something. Whether they snore, their phone is going, the alarm is going off early, their feet stink, they talk loud on the phone. If I could have my way, I would have a his and her closet, his and her bathroom, a big old kitchen. Like,
I need his and her everything.
Having my space.
Shoot, he gonna have his little den spot for when he get an attitude and he want to go and have his alone time. Bye. I'm gonna have my she shed spot or she den, whatever you want to call it, so I can have my alone time, meditate. Bye. Like we gonna have our space so we can make sure that when we get angry, we can calm down and then come back and communicate. Like, we married. You ain't letting this go. I'm just oh man, we got another question.
Any other questions for us?
If there are no more questions, we will end the live. If there are no more questions, we will say bye-bye. Let us know. That's our ending theme song for the Q&A. If there are no more questions, we will end the live. If there are no more questions, we will say bye-bye.
Well, so it doesn't look like we have any questions. So I would like to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. We appreciate the questions that were sent in our DM and text messages. We appreciate your feedback in the comment section. We appreciate you for taking the time tonight. I see some people from the West Coast on here. I see some people from the East Coast on here. We really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. This was so much fun. Simone?
Yes. And we'll be doing this again. Right. We'll be doing this again, not next Friday, but Friday after next. So definitely check us out then. We'll definitely be posting it on our page. So check us out and make sure you're following us at LoveLoudd LLC.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you for joining us. I truly appreciate it. This has been great. It's been fun. And if you have any questions that you want us to answer next time, you can go ahead and slide in our DM.
Yes. And also, we did share that if you missed our lives, you can check them out on our YouTube page. Also, that was a highlight for people like maybe your friends or family who missed it today, or maybe next week not next week, but the next time that we go live, you may miss it because you got something else to do, or with quarantine is over and you went to a party and we're still doing our live. You can check out our YouTube page. But also, we are sharing other things on our YouTube page as well. So far we have my question of the month. Our video is on there, and we're going to be doing so many more things on our YouTube page. So join us on there. Slide in our DMs. Ask us some questions. Send us a letter. We would love to read your letter out loud and get some feedback. That was so much fun. We appreciate that anonymous letter. And yeah, I had fun. So
I enjoyed it so much. Until next time, my people. Until next time.